So we're game 2 on Daybreak. It's a much less weird map, Daybreak. Much less weird. We've got Tahn in the top right of Daybreak, and over in the bottom left we are going to have HangemHigh, who is currently 1 game up. So, what are you going to build, Tahn? What are you going to build? You know, I'm just trying to remember, in the last game, Tahn did Worker Scout and had a quick look around, saw that it was hatchery first. Felt okay about throwing down his own expand, but didn't have a pylon near it, so couldn't get a shield battery down near that expo. So arguably, you know, a Nexus takes a lot longer to build than a pylon. What you don't want is, like, if Lings turn up and force you to cancel the Nexus, that is annoying. If Lings turn up and flat out kill your Nexus, that is tragic. It's hard to recover from that, to be honest. So getting a pylon down, getting a gateway next to it, or have either some buildings next to it or have a shield battery can make a huge difference. And one of the reasons for that is you can tuck your units in next to buildings so that Lings cannot surround them. And that just it makes it, I can't describe how much of a difference that can make. If you think about a Stalker, 6 Lings can comfortably attack a Stalker at one time if they get a full surround. If you have that Stalker tucked in behind, with a building on 3 sides of it, 2 Lings can attack it. So it literally will kill 3 times as many Lings before it goes down. And that's the difference, isn't it? That's the difference between your Stalker killing 4 Lings and killing 12. And one of those loses you the game and the other one wins you the game. So yeah, even just planting a pylon and a gateway is useful. Planting a pylon and a gateway will certainly buy you enough time to muster a response. A shield battery, better still, arguably. But that kind of depends on you knowing that it is coming. So always worth thinking about how you're going to get that information as well. So here we have, this is a pretty straight up build. It's Hatch gas pool. I think I wasn't actually paying attention, but certainly the position he's in now, it very much looks like that was the case. There's an Overlord in the main base. And last game, Tahn, any units in production, there is a Stalker just starting up. Last game, Tahn was able to snipe the Overlord, and that's always a bit miserable. I'm curious about the single gate opening, because generally against the Zerg player, double gate is reasonably standard. This single gate, I don't know. I really want to see another gateway. There's money for it. You can build it. And I really want to see a pylon come down on the low ground as well, so that you can reinforce with shield battery if you need to. So 2 Lings are going to come and have a look. Just going to park down here for the time being and have a little nibble, maybe try and get up the ramp. They're not going to be able to get in. The Stalker is in position, although is that a gap? That looks like a gap. Look, that is at the edge of the ramp. That, I don't know. I think that's a gap. Anyway, Prism. Is it going to be Prism? No, it isn't. There aren't enough gateways for it to be Prism. So what is this robo for? I'm a little bit curious. And why is the shield battery here and not down here? Curious about that as well. What is this? It's an observer? Like, that's a very, very quick robo. To then just build an observer? Not really sure. So I wouldn't mind seeing some Warp Prism play. Warp Prism play can be super effective. One of the options you've got is, throw down a Twilight console and get a very quick charge. And a Warp Prism drop, 6 Zealots in here. 6 charge Zealots can do an awful lot of damage to a mineral line very, very quickly indeed. And, the Prism hanging about can pick them back up again. You don't even lose them. Obviously it can't get all 6 in it, but it can certainly pick up a reasonable number. I'm curious about the Immortal, because HangemHigh hasn't shown any signs really that he's much of a Roach player, much more of a Ling player, and Immortals are not good against Lings. Lings trade extremely well against Immortals, and there are currently 20 Lings in production. Tahn has 2 workers in production and a shield battery. These warp gates are idle at present. And, you know, there's 600 minerals in the bank, there's 400 gas, there's 3 idle warp gates. Why aren't these warp gates working? Because when all these lings turn up, there's going to be trouble. There is a Nidus worm building as well, and you'd have to expect there's going to be a Nidus somewhere over here very soon. Tahn's in trouble. There's no units being built. I don't understand why there's no units being built. Why haven't we got units coming in? You've seen, only units you've seen are lings. There isn't a single zealot out on this map. So 3 more stalkers come in, but Stalker Immortal is horrible against lings. It's horrible. And worse still, there's no blink. So, you know, maybe with blink you can juggle and stuff. He sees this, surely he sees this. He does. He sees it. It's on the mini-map. But look, a full surround in this stuff. And the lings are just going to win. These units are not good against lings. And they're not standing within range of the battery. The Nidus finishes up completely uncontested. You know, so 3 workers is not enough to kill a Nidus. Niduses are armored. Oh, it's pretty ugly. The Stalkers standing here are doing nothing. Literally nothing. They're not even attacking anything. These guys, this one not quite in range of the shield battery. So, you know, mispositioning again. Why aren't they up here in range of the battery? I don't know. Why this Nidus worm was ever allowed to finish up, I don't know. Why we were looking at idle warp gates for a significant amount of time, I don't know either. And unit choice, you know, Immortal Stalker is what you build against roaches. You definitely don't build it against lings. It's horrible against lings. Stop that.